Topic number 2 tonight.
Let's go.
A man opens up. When he really opens up, don't you use what he said when he was open to prove a point when you want to win an argument. You will never hear the full story from us ever again. And we'll start say stuff like this. How are you? Good. I ain't good, but I just ain't telling you. If I tell you something in a moment of vulnerability and you use it against me in an argument, you can forget me talking to you forever. And you keep talking about he quiet, he shut down, he's in his man cave, he won't open up, because when he did open up, you shut the door on him.
Yeah. Janae, man.
Guilty.
I agree, but I also feel like, of course, men do the same exact thing, because y'all will take something that we tell y'all to and throw it back up in our face if we mad or whatever. But I also feel like part of that might be a little cap. And the reason why I say that is because when we had a podcast a few weeks ago, y'all was all saying how if y'all going through something, y'all wouldn't even tell y'all spouse what y'all going through anyway, because y'all don't want to really put the burden on her. So y'all kind of go into it not giving a 100 anyway. So why does, no, I'm not gonna say why does, but do y'all open up or do y'all not open up?
So what we talked about on that particular podcast, and then opening up as far as being vulnerable, I feel like you definitely got a point, but I feel like they can definitely be two different things. And so that particular topic, we were talking about more of a financial burden. With me in particular, I can't speak for every male on the show. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So my point on that subject back then was just, if I'm taking on the financial responsibility as a man, I don't want my woman stressing about finances. You understand where I'm coming from? But as far as this is concerned, because I've been there with this whole vulnerable thing. Like, we would love to open up to our partners, you know, but once they throw, whatever you talked about back into your face, it's over. You understand where I'm coming from? Like, because I've been there. And that's why, probably why I'm not with, someone right now because of that. It's like, yo, if I feel comfortable enough to, tell you about my life or tell you whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then we have an argument and you throw, whatever it may be back up, my trust for you, it becomes a trust thing with me. You see what I'm saying? So that's where I was going with it.
So I got a question for you. Have you ever used something that a girl told you about in an argument where she was being vulnerable to you, and in an argument you took that and threw it back in her face?
Never. Not me. Not me.
So
Yep.
let me dive into that pulse. Uh there's a difference, and a lot of females don't understand this, in my opinion. There's a difference between using a real world example of something that you may have said before to correlate the situation we're in now, to show you that this is just like that. I'm comparing apples to apples versus trying to take something that you told me when you was vulnerable and using it as a weapon to try to hurt your feelings. So a lot of women don't say, oh, well, you brought up yeah, but the way I brought it up was to show you, hey, when you was in this situation right here, the one that you told me about right here, you couldn't see that on the other side was this is no different than that. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference between trying to help someone learn through what they're going through versus now you're in an argument and you like, oh, well, that's why your mama didn't feed you on Tuesdays when you was growing up, or whatever. You know what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
mentioning something with the purpose, it's the intent behind it a lot of times. So a lot of times it's been my experience that women would say, "Oh, you mentioned something that I've said before," but that's not the same thing as trying to weaponize something that you've shared. Am I answering your question at all?
Yeah.
I think that a person that doesn't have any other ammo and no foot to stand on is the person that's going to use something that is fragile to harm you. Like, I've been in that situation. Like, I don't think I've ever weaponized something that somebody told me in a moment of vulnerability. I don't recall. But I have brought up things that they've said, like, this is why I'm addressing this situation, or this is something that you've told me. So I'm trying to make sure that we're going in the right direction. We're on the same page, because you can't tell me this one day and then tell me something different another day. Like, it has to make sense. So it can't be this way according to this and then that way according to that. But I have been definitely put in a situation where somebody weaponized something they thought was going to hurt me, and I just looked at them and was like, you're stupid, because if you think that hurts my feelings after I've already survived that, you're just dumb. Like, you're just dumb. Like, I'm past that. So now you just look stupid because you still don't have a leg to stand on, and my feelings aren't hurt. You just look stupid.
I think us as a culture of people, right, have to learn how to disagree without fighting, without trying to hurt feelings of someone that you actually care about, right? I think I've gotten to the point where if it's a disagreement, I'm only willing to talk about this disagreement. I'm not willing to talk about what happened last week. I'm not willing to talk about what happened last month. Whatever you bring up that's not about what we're talking about, I'm gonna act like you're saying it in Russian. Not only am I not going to respond to it, I'm gonna act like I don't even understand what you're saying. And we don't get. Let's stay focused. Let's stay focused. If we can't get past this, if we can't handle this, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I can see right now you really don't want to have a conversation. All right, I'll be over here. Let me know when you're ready. And that way, you know what I'm saying? That keeps me out of saying something that I may regret. That keeps me out of falling down the rabbit hole, and now we have 9 different conversations, and the thing that we're talking about never gets resolved. You know what I'm saying? You have to be willing.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't even about winning the argument no more. It ain't even about winning the argument. And in my almost 42 years of living, I've learned that I don't have the power to change anyone's mind. So it's not even important to me anymore that you hear my opinion about it. I don't even care no more. If it's a disagreement, you feel like the sky is blue, and I feel like the sky appears blue because of scattering, and the sky is actually whatever color is being reflected. I'm not gonna argue. I'm not. I don't care. I don't care. I heard you have been heard. That's my favorite saying now. Hey, I understand what you're saying. Because who gonna make you think something that you already? Who gonna make you think something different than what you already think?
True.
Let's see what this say right here.
I agree. I think it's still the terminology ammo. Men don't like disagreements as a war zone that we need ammo for. We aren't trying to win. We just want to resolve conflict with a legit resolution. I think that anyone that is intelligent, male or female, I agree with that. But it's a lot of people, if they can't meet you, it was a TikTok or something that I saw, and there was somebody speaking, and it was very eloquently stated, and I'm not going to state it as well as they did, but pretty much what they stated is that when someone can't meet your mind, if somebody can't match you intellectually in a disagreement or in a fight or whatever, what they'll do is that they'll then try to find other ways to harm you, whether that be physical abuse, verbal abuse, financial abuse, sexual abuse. They'll try to find some other way to harm you so that they can still feel like they accomplished something. And so I feel like anybody that's unable to effectively communicate what they're really thinking, what they really have going on, is going to start taking jabs because they don't have a leg to stand on. So they don't have any other weapon to use other than to fight dirty. And that's anybody. If I'm fighting a bigger person and they getting the best of me, I'm a jab at what I'm gonna use what I know or what I have. And I think it's the same thing in relationships. People use what they have, but a lot of times what they have is very hurtful. And by the time they finish, they don't realize, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't have stabbed this person as deep as I did. And it's too late. The cut is there and the relationship is over. It's damaged beyond repair.
Chris?
That's a good point. That's a real good point.
I agree with what bro said. I don't. You got one time, and you can go ahead and pretty much excommunicate me from your life if I ever feel comfortable. First off, I gotta feel comfortable enough to open up with you because I done been burnt with this shit before. So once I get to the point, if I'm get comfortable enough to be able to open up and tell you things, and you bring that shit back up in a fight or argument, you ain't gotta worry about me no more. I will go ahead and I will save you all the favors, and I will just remove myself because that's not somebody I need to be aligned with. Somebody, if I'm confiding in you, and it is the draft is terrible, Taco. I'm not even mad that I'm missing it right now. It's fucking
Taco. This ain't that Taco. I got to keep everybody straight, man. Why? Listen, if I'm ever the voice of reason, all reason has left.
So, but I agree with bro. I don't necessarily think that men do the same thing. If a male does that, then they're not a man. Simple as that. So I don't think men do that. I think I like what Jay said. Like if we ever bring up something that's more like a learning situation. Like this is, you told me this was happen, and you're about to go down that same way. Now you have me to help you realize that this is what's happening, yada yada, so on and so forth. Right? Me personally, I'll never, like, you tell me something and I put that in the vault. I keep that shit to myself. I never bring that up in the argument. Like if we get into an argument, I start roasting before I start bringing up personal shit, like, or shit that you told me.
I've learned that if an argument gets heated, the best thing to do is act like Cameron. You mad? You just gotta go childish. You just gotta go childish, man. That keeps stuff from escalating. Because now you don't want to talk no more. You like, oh, you acting like a damn 3-year-old.
Man,
but
hey,
man down says,
you might need to go to therapy, dog.
Who?
Man down.
Man down.
Man down says, here's the question: when is it ever a good idea to open up to a female? The minute you do that, the relationship is over.
So let me address man down.
Go heal that hurt, man.
My thing is, what if it's not an actual jab when someone is saying something, but it's perceived as a jab? So, for example, I'm gonna give y'all a real example, okay? Because y'all know I got examples for days of shit, okay? So many moons ago, was in a relationship. Hope you're not watching, whatever. And
I hope you are.
The individual, huh?
I hope they are watching, man.
No, I don't need them kind of problems at this point in my life. But this is just an example. So the individual and I were having issues because of infidelity on his part. I kept catching him and stuff. It was some real questionable behaviors going on or whatever. So one of the things that I stated, even though we were in the middle of an argument, I was very genuine in what I said. And I said, you know, you really need to go talk to somebody. Like, you should really go to therapy, right? Like, you have anger issues well beyond anything that I can love you through. Like, you need to go get some help. So then, because you know, he was like, I don't need therapy, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, well, that's funny because your mama agrees with me. Oh, Buddy was hot. I'm talking fish grease hot, right? So Buddy calls his mama and asks her, and she says, I agree that maybe you should talk to somebody because the way that you act out when you're angry is a problem. So this individual is now double hot because he's like, oh, well, not only did she say something that hit me in the gut, I guess he perceived that something was wrong. You know, I was saying something's wrong with you. And I'm literally saying, like, you should really address this because it's not healthy for you or for nobody else, especially not me. So then it took almost 48 hours for this individual to come back with a rebuttal. But the rebuttal, once again, had nothing to do with me. He said something to the effect of, that's why your daddy tried to kill you, or something like that. Now, in context, it wasn't my dad, it was my mom, and I was 17. And so not only do you have your facts wrong, like, you're stupid because it wasn't anything that I did that caused that to happen. I can't attach myself to that bullshit because it had nothing to do with me. And a smart person would have said, this is a dumbass statement. But at the time, that's all that individual could come up with to try to hurt my feelings. And so my response was to laugh and to say, you said all of that just because I said you need to go get some therapy? Wow, you must really need therapy. And he still didn't win. So it's like, what, like, it was perceived as a jab or a shot when in actuality, like, I'm telling you, like, because of the things that you've been through, it would behoove you to go talk to somebody so that you can stop damaging yourself and other people. And it wasn't a shot. And then because of that, it was a big old whole drama.
Sheesh.
Did that make any sense? Because y'all just staring at me.
Nah, it made sense, man. We want to pray for you. We want to pray for you a little bit. Man, I'm sorry you went through that.
Right.
Man down said, what's the benefit to a man opening up to a woman? What the hell is she gonna do after that? After I open up? LOL, I haven't heard the female advice on man stuff that I respect yet.
Woo.
Um, yeah. Yeah. Let's see what's next.
See, my dog Taco hitting the shit.
Hold on. Man down also said, Chris, read that one.
If I come home from a bad day at work, all I need my lady to do is recognize that I need some good loving and a home cooked meal. Why am I gonna gossip to her about why Tom pissed me off at work?
All right, and what Taco say, Chris?
I don't think it's so much about advice as much as them better understanding you and what's going on with you, where your head's at, etc. It's not for solving the problem; it's connecting. Talk that shit, Taco. Tell man down. Tell him, please. I feel Taco. Pause. Like I'm with Taco on that.
I don't think I get it in theory. However, I don't think it usually operates like that.
If you got the right person, it will.
Nah, man, because even just flip it, right? I mean, it said, although I'm very high. Just flip it. Just as a woman trying to open up to a man, we can't fundamentally just hear problems and not try to attempt to solve it. But sometimes y'all just want to be heard. Y'all don't want y'all problem solved, which that doesn't make sense, but that's just kind of the world that we live in. Where y'all have problems, you want to express your problem, but you don't want to help. You don't want help solving it. Got it. But so it's one of those things that honestly, I think for every situation, you have to be the own filter that you feel like you need. You have to say, hey, can I take this to my spouse or partner or whatever? And then if I can, what's the end result? What is my desired result? And then operate like that. You know, and each situation is different. In my opinion. Let's see. She don't need to understand me because she can't.
Chicken coop.
Rodney, what up?
Something about a chicken coop. What's going on with the chicken coop?
Yeah, you might as well come over here now.
Damn, my bad.
Just you over here talking.
Jam Master J.
What up? What up?
What's going on, man? How y'all doing?
Man, pretty good, pretty good. That's the legend right there.
Shoe fly.
All right, I'm out of here.
I think we lost Miriam too in the
Yeah, she's having some technical difficulties.
I'm gonna open up to my fellas. My lady don't need to see me naked and afraid. That shit is the anti-porn.
Please go to therapy, man. God damn.
You know, the fact that this man says anti-porn is hilarious. I love it.
Nah, but but I feel where he's coming from on certain stuff.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? The way that yeah, of course, the way, you know what I'm saying? That, what'd you say?
Sickening.
This man,
Everything this man say is actually sickening.
This man said 75% of divorces open up happen within the same year that they open up.
Show me the study on that one.
He might be facts about that, but it ain't got nothing to do with opening up.